In the glittering world of reality television, where alliances shift like sand and grudges can span decades, few stories have captivated audiences quite like the enduring saga of Teresa Giudice and her strained relationships with her brother Joe Gorga and his wife Melissa. For nearly 15 years, this family rift has played out in explosive episodes, tearful confrontations, and public declarations of irreparable divides, all under the unblinking eye of the cameras that made them famous. Yet, in a twist that feels both miraculous and meticulously orchestrated, Teresa has now stepped forward to announce a long-awaited truce. The barriers that once seemed insurmountable have crumbled, paving the way for hugs, heartfelt words, and a tentative hope for healing. Picture the scene at BravoCon, that annual mecca for fans of the Housewives franchise, held in the opulent halls of Caesar's Palace. The air buzzes with excitement as attendees flock to panels where their favorite stars spill secrets and shade. It's here, amid the flashing lights and adoring cheers, that Teresa Giudice, the undisputed queen of the Real Housewives of New Jersey, drops her bombshell. Seated alongside her husband Luis Ruelas, she's in the midst of the Housewife to Housewife panel, a forum designed for raw revelations, when she leans into the microphone with a voice laced with genuine emotion. "We have all gotten together," she declares, her words cutting through the crowd's murmurs like a lifeline tossed into turbulent waters. "I'm really grateful and I'm thankful." It's a simple statement, but in the context of her family's history, it's seismic. No more accusations hurled across dinner tables, no more sidelong glances at reunions turned battlegrounds. Instead, there's a palpable sense of relief, as if the weight of years has finally lifted from her shoulders. To understand the magnitude of this moment, one must delve into the origins of the feud, a tangled web woven from personal betrayals, professional jealousies, and the relentless pressure of living life on national television. It all ignited back in 2011, when Melissa Gorga first stepped into the spotlight as a cast member on the show. Joe, Teresa's younger brother by just a few years, had always been her protector, her confidant, the sibling who shared childhood memories of Jersey Shore summers and immigrant parents' unyielding work ethic. But Melissa's arrival changed everything. What began as whispers of favoritism, Teresa viewing her sister-in-law as an interloper in the family business and the show, escalated into full-blown warfare. Accusations flew. Melissa was accused of using the platform to eclipse Teresa's shine, while Teresa was painted as the domineering big sister who couldn't share the stage. Episodes devolved into shouting matches at christenings and birthdays, with Joe caught in the crossfire, his loyalty torn between his wife and his blood. The rift deepened over the years, manifesting in boycotts of major family events. Weddings became no-go zones, holidays were observed in separate homes. Public spats on social media amplified the pain, turning private wounds into spectacle. Teresa, ever the fighter, channeled her energy into her marriage to Luis Ruelas, a man who brought stability after her own legal battles and prison stint. But beneath the glamour of her podcast appearances and book tours, the absence of her brother gnawed at her. Joe and Melissa meanwhile built their own empire, Melissa with her fashion line Envy, Joe with his construction firm, yet the void was evident in their strained smiles during solo interviews. Fast forward to September when the first cracks in the armor appeared. Teresa, in a candid chat on Jeff Lewis Live, a Sirius XM staple for Celebrity Dish, floated the idea of reconciliation. "I would never say never," she mused, her tone a mix of caution and curiosity. It was a departure from her previous stance of locked doors and finality. The words hung in the air, a olive branch extended tentatively, as if testing the waters of a river long polluted by resentment. Melissa's response was swift and sharp, a reminder of the scars that hadn't fully healed. In an exclusive sit-down, she confessed her bewilderment. The door, she insisted, had been firmly shut for ages. Why now, after years of barbs and broadcasts declaring the end? It was a question that echoed the confusion of fans who had rooted for both sides, weary of the cycle. Joe, ever the mediator with a wrestler's build and a soft heart, weighed in the following month. His condition for forgiveness was clear and rooted in authenticity, humility. "If I sit down with her and I hear her out, it has to be very humble," he stated, his voice steady but laced with vulnerability. "It has to come from a humble place. It has to be real. It has to be, I made mistakes. And then we can move forward." These weren't empty words. They were the blueprint for rebuilding, acknowledging that true mending requires ownership of faults. Joe's plea resonated because it humanized the Gorgas, not as villains in a scripted drama, but as flesh and blood kin grappling with the fallout of fame. The turning point at BravoCon wasn't just words, it was action. As Teresa signed merchandise at her table, autographing copies of her memoir, posing for selfies with fans whose own family dramas paled in comparison, Joe made his entrance. The TikTok video captured by an eagle-eyed attendee is pure gold. Joe, broad-shouldered and beaming, envelopes his sister in a bear hug. Teresa, at 53, melts into it, her laughter mingling with Luis's approving nod. Luis, not one to be outdone in affection, plants a kiss on Joe's cheek, a gesture that seals the brotherly bond anew. It's the kind of moment that reality TV dreams are made of, yet it feels profoundly real, unscripted in its warmth. The ripple effects extended beyond the siblings. Teresa's eldest daughter, Giudice, now 24 and navigating her own path in the public eye, shared her joy on the red carpet. "It feels really good," she told reporters, her eyes sparkling with unfiltered happiness. For Gia, who grew up witnessing the feud's collateral damage, awkward silences at gatherings, divided holiday cards, this reunion is a gift. "I'm looking forward to the path of rebuilding and just getting to a better place, which we already are in," she continued, her excitement infectious. "I'm really happy about it." Gia's words underscore a generational shift. The younger Giudices and Gorgas, unburdened by the original sins, are eager to forge new traditions. Imagine future Thanksgivings with both families under one roof, laughter drowning out old echoes of arguments.